Hello from Gardening at Dwensa here in Ireland, and this is a little video on how to deadhead Crinums, Amaryllis, Roscoea, a variety of plants that push up a spike with a central piece from which the buds emerge. Okay, so we're going to start off this video with a crinum, and this is one I have in my greenhouse here, and we can see how the spike develops. So we have a spike that emerges from down there, from the bulb beside the leaves, and as we go up we can see that new buds come from the central point. Now what very often happens is we make a mistake, and as this has flowers they begin to go over, and in order to deadhead it and get the plant looking smarter, what often happens is that we gardeners cut off the flower spike, which is just such a mistake, because this central point will have more buds to come, and we need to keep it going and keep it neat looking until the point in time when it finishes up. Okay, so the first thing I do is just take off this little dead sheath here. Just improves the overall look of the plant. And over here we can see that this particular flower is gone over. Now I personally would just do this with my nail, just break it off like that. This one here is wilty looking, and I'll take that off as well, being very careful not to mess with the buds that are emerging. Look at that in there. Okay, so I'm going to move over here to this other plant. Same thing again, take out the sheath. Comes right off. This one is gone, so we will snip it with our nail, and this one here has seen better days, so we'll take it back there in the sheath, and basically the plant looks a lot nicer now. And it's a rainy old day, but we've moved over here to the garden to this enormous clump of crinums, and we're actually going to deadhead these. Now as you can tell, these are still coming, lots of flowers coming, but some of them have passed their best by. Well, that's grand. We could take off the sheath. In this instance it doesn't seem to want to come off without a secateurs, so I could get a secateurs and just snip it here. But if we move over here, that flower is spent, but there are lots of new ones coming, so we'll just snip that out there with the nail. Moving down here, we have lots of really spent ones, which I could just pull off like that. If they don't come, then just snip them with the nail. Just below that swelling node there, that's where the seed will set. And we really don't want these to set seed. If a plant is busy setting seed, it will not concentrate on bulking up its bulb, and with these we want the bulbs nicely bulked up. Okay, so that's that one. Over here, this one's okay down there. Yeah, looking a bit sloppy doppy. We'll take out that, 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 that. Good. You can see it's been an amazing year for the crinums. Now over here we see a flower spike that is complete. You can see by looking at this that there's nothing else coming. So what you could actually do is just snip that whole spike off down at the base. But I don't have my secateurs with me, so I shall continue with the nail. Right, so that's Deadheading Crinums. And the other most common type of this plant that needs deadheading in this way is the Agapanthus. And here we have a variegated one with a flower spike there, looking very nice. And as you can see, it's still pushing out a few buds, but not many. It's coming near the end, but it still has a few. and this spent flower has seen better days, so we're just going to snip that off with the nail as we've done with the others, and then just leave it to do its stuff really. And now we're back in the greenhouse, and here's another example of an Agapanthus, and this one is in good flower, lots of buds coming, lots open but some spent. So these spent ones we're going to pull out if they allow us to pull them out, and just snip them with the nail if that's what we have to do. Okay. And see, this is trying to produce seed there, which is not something I want this beautiful cultivar to do. I want it to produce a nice big bud, not concentrating on seed that is not going to be as good as the parent anyway. Okay, so I think that is looking great. And over here we have a Roscoea. Now if we go in, we can see that the rain has come and it has spoilt the flowers, but there may be life in this one yet. Now the way we deadhead is we isolate from the flowering point which of the flowers have completely gone over. So this one here is completely splattered. Now if I just lightly and gently pull it, as you can see, it comes out. And the same for that one there. And then moving over here, you see that's a new bud. We don't want to affect that. We pull out this one here and this one here. And with Roscoea they come nice and easy. Down here, a new bud coming, and this is the old flower. Now this mightn't be ready to come out yet. No, it's not ready. We will leave that a bit longer. This one won't come out. We have new buds there, and we have an old flower which I will take out very simply like that and that. Moving to the front, again an old flower, and just tug it slightly. And if we look down here, you see that? New buds coming, so it's good news. Down here, we have this one and this one, and these won't come yet, so we'll just leave them. So I think really the lesson here is to check often and just give them ever such a slight tug. And the good thing about this deadheading exercise is that you don't need any tools, so you can do it as you pass by the plant. Just reach in there and give those old buds a tug, just to neaten it all up. And I think that plant is done, and I think it looks a whole lot better now. Here's another Roscoea down here, and I do love my Roscoeas. This one is red Gurkha, and it's not completely hardy. It's also not completely finished flowering if we look in here. Now, that is gone. That is gone. If we look in there, there's more to come. So if I were to cut off the top, I would lose all those succession of flowers, and that really is not good. Look at that. That's good stuff. Down there, around here, that one there at the side. Now this looks like it's completely finished. But when we take out the dead flowers, no, I think there's another bud coming in there. And over here, there. And finally, there we go. Right, so that's a Roscoea red Gurkha deadheaded, and well, there are flowers to come, although none actually open at the moment. And then the final one I want to show you is the Amaryllis over here. And this is not Hippeastrum, it's Amaryllis. And I think Hippeastrum is actually dealt with in the same way. But as you can see, this Amaryllis, it started out its life with lots of buds coming from the centre. And it's finished really now. There's nothing else coming. And you can tell quite clearly when there's nothing else coming. These ones have seen better days. So what we're actually just going to do is to snip this off. Now, what I would do in this case is I wouldn't snip that stem right down at the base. I know some people say you should do this, but this is greenery and it's all feeding the bulb as far as I'm concerned. So I'm going to snip, say about here. I know general wisdom is to always cut to something, to cut to a leaf or to cut to a base, but I'm just going to go against the rules here. And here I am with my trusty secateurs, and I'm just going to snip that there. And you see there's lots of life left in that stem as far as I'm concerned, and since the Amaryllis only produces leaves after the stem, I think it'll do it good to still have something to photosynthesize with. Okay, I hope you have found this video useful and that you can now find deadheading of Agapanthus, Crinums, Amaryllis and lots of plants of that nature, including Roscoea, much easier. Okay, you know what to look out for, so it's over to you. Thanks very much for watching. Bye now.